When Calls the Heart, Season 10, Episode 5. Life is but a dream. Bill came into the saloon, and when he got to his table, the lady tourist was already sitting there. They exchanged pleasantries, and Bill brought out the paper, just like it's normal for her to be there. She's trying to talk him into selling her the town's land. Bill is telling her that it's not his to sell. She said, "You'd think the mayor would have a little pool around here." Bill said, "You'd think." Lee and Rosemary were cooing over the new baby. The baby is 3 weeks now. There was a knock on the door, and Lee and Rosemary rushed around the room cleaning up. Rosemary forgot the ladies were going to come over this morning. Elizabeth, Molly, Florence, and Minnie. They made a beeline to the baby, and they were cooing over the baby, and they asked, "Have you named her yet? What are we going to call her?" And Rosemary said that they haven't named her yet because they want the perfect name for the perfect baby. Elizabeth told Henry that at school they're working on a project growing plants, and she was asking him if he would help the children build boxes to plant the plants in. And Henry said that he'll make some for her. And she said, "Good. I'll bring the children by tomorrow to help him build them." And he was like, "Wait a minute. I thought I was going to be building these by myself. I work better." What he was going to say is that he works better alone. But she turned around and gave him a look. And he said, "I'll see you in the morning." Nathan and Allie are going to spend some time in the woods camping. And Allie wanted Angela to go. And Nathan said she can go if she has her parents' permission. Well, it's good that Allie wants Angela to go because Nathan he told Elizabeth he was feeling kind of nervous going on the camping trip by himself with Allie because their conversations hadn't been as easy as they used to be now that she's a teenager. When Angela asked her parents if she could go on the camping trip with Allie and Constable Grant, they said no, maybe next time. But she gave them the sad face and talked them into it and said, she said that Constable Grant will help her. And that didn't do anything. And she said, "Well, Dad, you can come." And he said he had sermons to do. He had to build a fence. He had to do other stuff. And she said, "Well, just because you're busy doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to go." And finally she broke them down and they said she could go. The tourist lady was grilling Mike on if he knew anyone that was selling some land. And Mike was getting ready to say that Bill has a property, but Bill came walking up behind him, so he quit talking and walked away. She's not only looking for land, she's looking for land with a stream on it. The land that she's looking for has to have a stream on it. So what I'm thinking, this is a sidebar, what I'm thinking is that she wants Bill's land. What made me think of this is because Mike said Bill had some land with a stream on it, and she keeps talking on the phone with someone and says she's working on it. So that's what I think. I think she wants Bill's land. When Mike left, Bill told her that he found someone willing to sell her some land, but it doesn't have a stream on it. And she said if it doesn't have a stream on it, it wouldn't work for her. Joseph surprised Nathan and the girls by joining them on the camping trip. Nathan was overjoyed. Now he'll have someone to talk to. The tourist Madeline St. John, her son was sitting at a table with luggage, and Bill walked up and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And the child said that we're leaving. My mother said there's no place for us here. Bill went to Mike and said, "Where can I find Madeline St. John?" Mike said, "She's still upstairs. She's leaving. Maybe you should have sold her your land." And Bill said, "I see that." When she came down the stairs, Bill said, "Hi, I'm glad I caught you. I wanted to tell you there's a piece of land, rolling fields, mountain views. Of course, there's a stream." She said, "Really? Where on earth did you find it?" He said, "It's my land, and I want to sell it to you." She said, "Bill, are you sure?" He said, "I'm not using it, so really you'll be doing me a favor." She said, "Well, since I'll be doing you a favor, I accept." Bill said, "Well, it's a deal. I'll call my attorney in Union City and get him to have him draw up the deed of sale." Sidebar, I believe this is exactly what she wanted. So whomever she's talking to on the phone, saying that she's working on it, I think she just got it. Elizabeth told Rosemary about another one of Lucas's grand ideas. He wanted to buy Elizabeth a house on the hill, a big house, and move away from Rosemary and Lee. But Elizabeth told him she didn't want to leave. She liked living next door to her best friend and being able to have dinner with them and have the baby sleeping upstairs. She said, "This is my home. I have so many memories here, and I hope that you think of it as your home too." He said he understood and that he was going to keep treating her, even though he can't buy her a castle, because little Jack was drawing castles, and he said that he would build little Jack a castle and he'll build his mama one too. That was his leeway into asking her about building a house on the edge of town. But in the end, Lucas said, I may not I may not build you a castle, but that won't stop me from treating you like a queen." But anyway, Rosemary was upset at the thought of Elizabeth moving across town or anywhere other than next door. And Elizabeth assured her that she was not going anywhere.